Hello, Plastic Ocean team, heading off in January. It's exciting. I'm sorry that no one could make it today. I haven't taken anything personally. I understand it's Christmas, it's crazy, and you guys are working hard, which is good to hear. Okay, so the point of this Zoom that you're tuning into is to get you all organized and your expectations aligned for the adventure to come. Okay, so pull up a pew, pour yourself a drink, get a cup of tea, whatever. I'm going to talk about your itinerary, your flights, money, costs, budgeting, phones, SIM cards, Wi-Fi, kit, personal admin, health and safety. Okay, so we've got it all covered so that you head off all organized. So let's start with flights. Okay, looking at the flight document I've got here, the little database. We are still expecting flights from Leah, James, Elise, and George. George, I've spoken to your dad. I understand you are on it. Okay, everyone else, please send us your flights. Whatever flight you book, okay, I know that it's the 14th of January is the day everyone else is leaving and arriving. If that BA flight is now way too expensive, look at all the other options via the States, via Canada, via Mexico, via France, Madrid. I think that's about it. Okay, have a look. If it arrives the day before, absolutely no problem whatsoever. We will just help get you organized, pop you an extra night in the little hotel just near the airport. So you just have that flexibility. For everybody else, I'm really pleased to see that you have booked a return date because it is critical to enter Costa Rica with proof of leaving Costa Rica, preferably by flight, but a bus ticket into another country, such as Panama, would do. But a flight is your safest bet. It is absolutely critical to have that pre-booked before you get on that plane to Costa Rica. Because if you get an idiot at immigration that wants to make your life difficult, you will not be allowed into the country and you will be sent on the first plane back to wherever. It's happened before and it will happen again. So don't get caught out. Whatever time you arrive, you will be met by one of our guides at San Jose Airport. Okay, so you go through customs, you go through immigration, you go through the final bag check, and you exit the airport onto a kind of huge kind of pavement meet and greet area outside. And it's covered, so just wait there. You will see somebody with a sign saying the Leap, Jaquera, just wait patiently. They're not there immediately. They could just be, at the back of the queue or parking up, but wait there. Do not wander off and hide in one of the cafes because they won't be able to find you. So stay in view and look out for that particular sign. Okay. Your first night is going to be in San Jose in a sweet little hotel yet to be confirmed. We used to book the Rosa of America, but they're fully booked. So we're going elsewhere. I will tell you before you go. All that is handled and organized by us. The first day, you will be up bright and breezy because of the jet lag and everything else. And you will start your big logistical journey to Santa Teresa. So heading into your itinerary, I'm just going to look at another spreadsheet here. Your itinerary, your 6 weeks, is split into two halves. The first half, the first 3 weeks, you're going to be spending in Santa Teresa at Jaquera camp. The second half, you're going to be on 4 different places. So you are on a proper adventure. So you've got the best of both worlds. You've got the stability of bedding in Santa Teresa, and then you've got adventure of going to Cirenas, the turtle sanctuary, the cloud forest, the beach, and a Robinson Crusoe style turtle sanctuary. So I'll describe those later. So starting off with Santa Teresa, On the Sunday, you will tootle down. It's a big journey, so brace yourself for that. It takes a couple of hours to get down to the ferry, another couple of hours to cross to the peninsula, and then on the other side, another couple of hours to weave your way round to Santa Teresa itself, which is on the Pacific side of the peninsula. Santa Teresa is a stunning place. Okay, when you arrive, you might think, hey, what is this? Because all you see when you get there is a long, long road full of potholes and kind of few kind of shops all going along the sides on the left-hand side, nothing on the right, because on the right, you've got the kind of jungle and then you've got the beach. Actually, that's a fib. You access it the other way around. So on the left, you've got the jungle and then the beach. On your right, you've got all the kind of hotels, guest houses, restaurants, supermarkets, everything you need. So it stretches for about 1.5 miles. So you'll get fully used to it. But where we are based, which is you turn right and you go up a very steep hill, about 200, 300 yards up there. Regardless, it takes about 15, 20 minutes to walk down, 10 minutes to walk down, 20 minutes to walk up a step. You've got loads of kind of groovy little cafes within walking distance, so you don't actually really go that far. You're going to be based at Jacara Camp, where we've been working with Jacara now for almost over 15 years. They are super cool and they're a great setup, but it's a big setup now. So Chris, he is the kind of mover and shaker, and his wife and every member of his family that work there. You will meet him. They live on site with Jack, who used to run all our operations in Kenya. He's now moved to Costa Rica to run them there to help Chris. He's great fun, late 20s, really relatable, just, really on it. And then you've got all the guides, which are going to be in charge of you on a day-to-day basis. But the offices there, the main hub, big building, kind of open plan where everyone eats, hammocks, pizza ovens, telly if there's a football match on, there's so much going on. It's got a pool, and then dotted around kind of couple of acres of kind of jungle paradise are these bungalows where you will all be together, and then there'll be they take other equivalent of leapers, but they come from the Netherlands. So it's quite a kind of international. Any one time, there's usually about 40 people in camp, 45, 25 of you, 20 to 25 of the others. But you all, in the evenings, mix together. There's a great kind of party vibe. So it's really good fun. You work hard during the day and you have fun in the evenings. Well, that's the plan anyway. So your first week, you will be kind of settling in, shown around. You're going to learn to surf, and you're going to start your Spanish lessons. Now, don't be daunted about these Spanish lessons. They are not, it's kind of not kind of GCSE style. It's purely conversational, because you will notice in Central and South America, having just returned from Peru, no one speaks English. So, which is a good thing. So you really got to, try and learn the basics. So that is the goal of this, to learn the basics. If you know the basics, you will be in a different class and you will be pushed a bit further. If you're fluent, then you will be a bit with Peggy, and she'll test you on kind of really push your vocab. So don't get thinking, oh my God, I'm hopeless at languages. Yes, I remember being hopeless at languages at school. This is not a kind of serious thing. It's to get around. Hello, my name. Can I order? Where's the chemist? All that type of information. Okay, so that's your first week. Then you've got the weekend. Then the second week, you are going to be volunteering and your Spanish lessons. So the volunteering, when we are in Santa Teresa, is all under, actually the whole program is all under the Plastic Oceans umbrella. And what I mean by that is we want you to experience what this fabulous local community on this peninsula do to help their huge problem, which is the plastic from the Pacific being dumped on their beaches. Literally, you won't have seen anything like it. Day in, it is relentless. We're talking microplastics, silly little tiny wee things, from earbuds to fridges, deep freezers. You just can't believe the Pacific is a dumping ground of all rubbish, and it ends up along the Pacific coast. And it's just amazing to see what this community are doing to kind of stand up against it. So that is what you're going to be part of. So you're going to be cleaning up the beaches on these big community efforts, going to the recycling center, which has been started by Farrell Williams. He's in charge of it. They take these barrels of plastic over to America. They get converted into plastic thread, converted into funky clothes, and the money comes back. But in addition to that, you're going to be helping with the composting, how they kind of use the plastic as part of the composting. It's genius. Making lampshades, household goods out of plastic bottle tops. You're going to see it all. So it is really interesting to see what can be done at grassroots level without any help from government, big corporations. It's just local people doing amazing things. The turtle conservation also falls under the plastic umbrella, because when you go to the 2 turtle sites, one at Cirenas, which is privately owned, and one called Asvo, when you're at Samara Beach, is government run, and you'll see the difference. And that's also we've done on purpose, so you can see how these things are affected by donations and the work that can be done, both doing vital work. And you will learn about the kind of sponsorships and how these NGOs and government organizations are funded. But you'll see that what the problems are with the turtles, due to the plastic in the ocean, due to climate change, due to the change in tides, temperatures of the sea. So it's not just about seeing a turtle, it's about learning what their problems are, how we can help, and what the bigger picture is. Again, you'll go to Monteverde, to the cloud forest, and you'll see there what the climatic changes on the world is having on this spectacular, unique ecosystem. So yes, all these phases are brilliant. You get to see all these different things, but they're being carefully put together. So the itinerary is being scripted. So at the end, you'll be able to look back and go, wow, okay, isn't that interesting? This is the problem that the Pacific gives these communities. This is what they're doing. Wow, how can we help with X, Y, and Z? So you will find it really interesting. Okay, so the first 3 weeks you will be at Santa Teresa, as I've said. See, because there's no one here, I do waffle on, so I'm terribly sorry. I'll try and keep focused. Spanish and the volunteering. Then you move to Cirenas, which is the private turtle sanctuary, which you'll absolutely love. Very rural, very rustic. No, it's not. It's rural, and it's tucked away in the jungle. You will absolutely love it. And you all walk there, so you get this kind of feeling of kind of adventure. When the tide goes out, you walk around. It's very stylish. The food is delicious there, and you get involved in the turtle conservation and in their permaculture. And it's this whole kind of self-sustainable kind of system that they're kind of developing. Then you go to Monteverde. In Monteverde, this is your cloud forest adventure. Every morning is going to be organized for you, various hikes through the jungle. You're just through the cloud forest, so you can see everything with great guides. Every afternoon is free time, so you can choose to do different adventures. Now, the different adventures that people choose to do in Monteverde, typically, is the zip wiring and the bungee jumping. No idea about the bungee jumping, but quite a few people choose to do it. If you're thinking about the bungee jumping, okay, just check that your travel insurance covers it, because no one, you will need to show proof of that, and to have that confirmed, no one will be bungee jumping unless they can tell us that their insurance covers it. So double check that before you leave home. Okay. Then your last phase is at Samara Beach. Now, this is when you have a little bit of downtime because it's towards the end of the trip and you have been on the move the entire time and you will be exhausted. So Samara is, you've got do some surfing if you've loved the surfing, a couple of yoga lessons thrown in, just optional. There's optional extras which I'll come to. But within this time, the group gets split up into 2 groups. And back to back, you go to the ASVO, which is the government-run turtle sanctuary. Now, when you're here, I want you to think rustic, Robinson Crusoe, sleeping in a hammock, tin roof, showering with a hose pipe, okay? And then that's just managing your expectations. But everyone loves this phase because you really are out there in the wild, watching the sun go down every night, come up, turtles, it's just heaven. So, but you will see the difference, which I was whiffling on about earlier, to Cirenas, which is the private, all very kind of tidy turtle sanctuary. From Samara Beach, you'll then be taken to San Jose for your last night before you catch your flight out the following morning. Okay, so that is your itinerary. 3 weeks Santa Teresa, 3 weeks on the move. Okay, now I just want to go through what is included in each phase so you can start budgeting. Overview, headline news: Costa Rica is expensive, like America, like going to New York expensive. It really, really is. And they charge everything in dollar. And as you know, the pound is literally parity with the dollar. So you've got to brace yourself with this. And you've got to make sensible choices. So when you are in Santa Teresa, you have breakfast and lunch included. Dinner is out. Now, you need to budget anything between $15 and $20 for supper. Okay, a pizza is going to cost you $15. And you got to, but when you're there, you have got to seek out the reasonably cost places, because Santa Teresa is like the Ibiza of is like the Ibiza. Okay, it's full of glamorous people. George Clooney has a house there. There are glamorous bars. You know, you can have cocktails at 10 quid a cocktail, sushi, You are not going to go and eat there. You're going to go and eat at the local soda restaurants, eat where the local people live, eat, drink there, kind of the local beer. You're just going to go local and be sensible with your budgeting, okay? You're just not going to nip out for a $5 smoothie every lunchtime, okay? Of course you can, but that is where you're going to fritter away all your money. So be careful. What you can do, what they do in camp, is that they have pizza night for kind of $10 or a sushi night for $15 in camp. So it is much cheaper. I would always say choose to eat there. Some nights you can just go to the supermarket and between a group of you, cook your own food, cook up a bowl of pasta. Those are the ways you're going to keep the costs down. When you're at Cirenas, all food is included. When you're at Monteverde, breakfast and lunch included, supper out. Okay, again, choose the soda bars, the local restaurants. Samara, supper is out again. Choose the local bars. When you're at ASVO, all food is included. Okay, so you're going to jump from all included, not included, all included, not included throughout. So budget $15 to $20 for a meal. And then you've just got to manage how much you're going to spend on how many beers you're going to drink in the evening. And that is a topic I will come to a bit later. Okay, activities, extra activities, because everyone goes, oh my God, I spent so much money on activities. All the extra activities are optional. And I would, before you go, make a choice. So these are the ones that people usually do. Okay. And again, you don't want to start frittering away on just a little snorkel trip for $30. Save your money for the big ticket items, such as the bungee jump is $75 to $80. The zip wiring is about $65 to $70. It might have just nudged up, you know, in 2023, but that's what it was coming in at in 2022, the last group. Okay, those two activities happen when you're in Monteverde. The other one that everyone loves to do when they're in Santa Teresa is going to Tortuga Island. And they often do that every, you know, on a weekend, Sunday, whatever. And you catch these speedboats out, you go to the islands and you find dolphins and whales and you go snorkeling and have lunch out. Everyone loves that. When you're at Samara, I don't know, people might opt to do kind of an extra yoga at $15 or hire a surfboard at $25 for a couple of hours, or go on a little island tour, which usually costs kind of $25. So, you know, they're not big ticket items, but the three big tickets are the Sipwa, the bungee jump, and Tortuga Island. Okay, but remember, it's all optional. While we're on the topic of money, how are you going to get your money out? Okay, the local currency is the colon, and yes, as in the colon. And I would not try and get that currency out before you leave home. Get it out when you're there from the ATM. And I would take out a Monzo card, a Revolut card, or a Starling card. Okay, they are absolutely brilliant. I recommend the Starling if I could make a choice out of all three, because the Monzo and the Revolut, there's always a bit of trouble with those cards. For some reason, some banks like them, some banks don't, just in Costa Rica. In the whole of rest of Central South America, they all work beautifully. But for some reason in Costa Rica, the Monzo and Revolut can be annoying. Starling never gives us any problem. But that's why take a debit card out as well, just in case your free taking out money card doesn't work. I would also always take $100 cash on you for emergencies. Just keep it stuffed in your bag, just in case. Phones, moving on now. Phones, SIM cards, Wi-Fi. Okay. Phone, take your normal phone and make sure at home you know what all your passwords are, etc., etc. But please take a spare phone. Actually, it's essential. You're taking two phones because it's amazing. Someone is going to lose a phone, drop a phone in the sea, crack the face, you name it, get it nicked. It's going to happen. So if all of you have got spare phones kind of chucked in your bag, I know most families have got a kind of spare phone in a kitchen drawer, pop it away, take it with you. Make sure it is open so you can put a new SIM card in it. And when it comes to SIM cards, very, very easy. They sell SIM cards all over the place. Literally every kind of corner kind of cafe, supermarkets seems to sell them. So they are easily accessed. But bearing in mind, in Costa Rica, the Wi-Fi is fantastic. So going through your itinerary, you've got in Santa Teresa at camp, first night accommodation, at San Jose, you're going to have Wi-Fi. Santa Teresa, Wi-Fi throughout in camp. Cirenas, no Wi-Fi. Monteverde, great Wi-Fi. Samara, great Wi-Fi. Asvo, terrible Wi-Fi. So actually, there's only two places, both turtle sanctuaries, where you're going to have rubbish Wi-Fi. So you might take a view that you don't need a SIM card, but that backup phone is important. Kit list. Okie dokes. So please look at your kit list in MyLeap. Everything on there is tried and tested from leapers gone by. So it is there for a reason. I can't go through every single reason why you need to take everything, but if it's long trousers, just trust me, you need long trousers for Monteverde because it's cold. You need long trousers for parts of the project work on the turtle sanctuary. So just take them. Head torch, most vital piece of equipment you can take. Water bottles, hats, don't forget them. It's amazing how many people do. When it comes to rucksacks, the key principle is please do not take a hard, solid case, okay? Or a wheelie solid case. Absolutely useless. No good to manabees because it's really hard to transport. So you have got to take something that is soft and malleable that can sling on top of the roof of a minibus, get strapped on, and it is hardy and durable. Rucksacks are great, but also those big North Face duffel bags, you know, they're also brilliant. The day rucksack, that is a really good piece of kit. And I would, if I was going to invest in anything, I would be investing in that. A good kind of 22-litre Berghaus, North Face, that type of thing. Day rucksack is really key because when you go to the ASVO, you just want to take a small rucksack of stuff. You leave everything else back at Samara Beach with the others. And actually, if you know, just going on all the hikes, you need to take, you know, kind of spare swimmers, suntan lotion, spare this, spare that. So it needs to be quite durable and comfortable on the shoulders when you are hiking around Costa Rica with us. Washing clothes. So when you're packing, less is more because you can easily wash it. You can wash it yourselves or you can get it washed in camp. Everyone says, oh, it's so expensive. It is, you know, even going to the laundrette, kind of $10, $15 a load. So I would be literally in the shower, just washing what you've worn that day, slinging it out on the line and just keeping on top of it. Girls, top tip. Okay, it's not a top tip, it's just like, well, it is. Weirdly, and I don't know why, you cannot get any Tampax in Costa Rica. Okay, you just can't sell it. Can't get it anywhere. I think it's actually illegal. You could only get sanitary towels. So take what you need. Okay. Moving on, 2 more sections, personal admin and health and safety. Quite dry subjects, but let's go for it. Personal admin, okay? Could you please fill in and send us your personal details, fill in that health form, tell us everything. I do not want people arriving and then telling our guides, oh yeah, did you know I have a chronic nut allergy? Not helpful. We need to know everything before you go, okay? We need to know if you're worried about your mental health, if you're worried about dietary issues, physical health, all of it. You've heard most things before. We're never surprised and we're very discreet. So just give us the heads up so we can best look after you when you are out there. When it comes to your medical kit and what to take, you know, the biggest risks to you out there are cuts and mosquito bites getting infected. So you need some form of antiseptic to keep them dry. Cuts, you know, you've got to keep it dry and out of the water. But there are brilliant chemists there where you can get literally everything. Doctors on call when you're in camp, all through, you know, there is great private medical care throughout Costa Rica, and you have access to it at every single point. So if you were ill or something happened to you, getting access to a top hospital is very, very easy. That is why we need your insurance numbers. So why you all need to be insured with a decent insurance company, and we need your reference numbers, please. So go through your personal admin, fill in the health form, t-shirt size, flights, fill in the form, okay? Please, please, please. Last section, health and safety. Okay, so we are going to, at every phase, give you a briefing. Please, this is what to be avoid. This is what we recommend you don't do. Our job is to keep you safe, but your job is to listen to our advice. We are not trying. We do not want to treat you like you're at school and this is a school trip, because that is so not what we do. But if you are that idiot that decides to just get really drunk every night and starts ruining it for other people, and actually if your behavior is just annoying and ruining it for the team, then you're going to get the email from me. And you have annoying, antisocial behavior. There's 3 strikes, and on the 3rd strike, you're asked to leave. So that is when we get really sad and just think, oh, I've got to really send an email to someone because they decided to get really, really drunk last night and throw up all over the dorm, and everyone else is just cross and, you know, just, it's just ruining the kind of team dynamic. Please don't be that person, okay? It's just, don't do it. You've all got to work together, and it is being respectful to each other and to your guides, who are going to tell you what's a good thing to do and what's not. And they're just going to expect that you listen. Okay, especially when it comes to the nightlife in Santa Teresa. You are going at high season. It is all very exciting. Everything is open. There's loads of people there, loads of impromptu parties, and you will want to go to them, all of which are absolutely great and all easy to go to. But if they say, actually, that one is run by by people we don't really like, it has a bit of an edge to it, just listen and go, okay, I respect that. I'm not going to go there. You know, because they do have these kind of pop-up jungle parties, which, you know, appear across Costa Rica, you know, throughout the high season. So just listen to the advice of the guides. Okay, we want to keep you safe. We want you to have a good time, but we all have to work together. Okie dokes. So on that high note of me wagging my finger at you, I wish you a wonderful trip. You are going to have a wonderful trip. You are extremely lucky. I know a lot of you have worked so hard for this. So we will deliver the adventure that you had dreamed of, and you make the most of every opportunity which gets presented to you. Work hard, play hard, have a fantastic experience, and happy Christmas to you all. Last thing, we are going to be closed between Christmas and New Year. So send us emails and we will at a moment be picking them up, but we'll be back in the office after New Year for the last 2 weeks before you go, to get you finally organized if you've got any questions. Okay, over and out. Happy Christmas.